Hey, Woodworker Anonymous here, and got some tips here for shop organization. We're looking at how about sockets, right? You got a tray full of sockets, you know, got to pull out here and got all that crap in there, and it's like, hey, it's time to find a 7/16 inch socket. So you start. I mean, I at one point had these things all organized, so you can even see I had SAE over here and metric over here, but you know how it goes. You're working on stuff and just you're throwing stuff back in, and a couple jobs later, it could be anywhere. And this is a pain in the butt. So this has got to be fixed. Here's what I'm doing. Creating something to organize it all. So the major, I guess, tool I'm using to organize these things are magnets, because these things are obviously magnetic, and so I bought off Amazon a bunch of magnets. And okay, so we got these bar magnets, and these are excellent for just lining them up, embedding them into the surface of some plywood or whatever scrap wood you might have, and they become like a very good way to secure your tools, where it's pretty easy to remove them, but they won't shake off or rattle off at all. Also, I bought some of these. These are disc magnets, and you can get these in different sizes. I'm not sure the best size. This is what I ended up ordering. We'll see how they work out. These also come in different sizes. They come in 2mm thick and 3mm thick. Also ordered these. I'm not sure if I'm using them in this project, but these are, they call them cup magnets, and you can see the magnet's in the center, and it fits inside this kind of cup-shaped disc, and it has a counterbore hole on top, so you can actually screw these in, so you don't have to epoxy these in or anything like that. So these are cool. These are a little bit more expensive, a little bit bigger. Not sure what the best use for these is going to be, but we're going to be utilizing these magnets in projects to get all this stuff organized. So I'm going to try to make an organizer. You can buy these things online. I thought, hey, let's make one. So what I did was I just took a piece of plywood and I cut it on a little bit of an angle, so that like it's easy to grab a hold of the sides here, so you see you can get your fingers around the edge. And the idea is to like bury some magnets on the back side here, so this will stick to the side of a metal toolbox, or to the drawer in a metal toolbox, either way. And I actually buried a magnet bar, a series of magnet bars down the middle. Okay, so this is the top veneer piece we're going to glue down on top of the bar to magnet, and you know, this would be the sockets that I want to put into this particular piece here. Yeah, without getting too crazy, basically I just space these by eye. I'm not measuring them with like tape measure, but I get them spaced out so they look good to the eye. Then I just lay it down right here on the edge. Just take a pencil and just put a little tick mark at the center, you know, eyeballing it again. I'm not getting crazy here with the measuring. Just eyeballing it, putting a tick mark right in the center of each of these sockets. Okay, I can take that off now. Then I draw a straight line right down the center, take a square and just cross that center line. And then what I do is I come back with a pair of calipers, and you know, although these are all different size sockets, you know, the outside's not all different sizes. There are different sizes, but a lot of, like, you know, once you get to a certain size, they all stay the same. So anyway, I would just go down each one of these, get the measurement to the closest 1/8 of an inch, because I have Forstner bits in 1/8 inch intervals, and so I'd measure them all the way down, and I would just put the mark right here. You know, like for here, I'm going to put a 7/8 inch hole here, 7/8. Here it goes up to an inch and 1/8, and an 1/8. So real quick way to mark it up. I'm just going to take it over the drill press as she already started. These are 3/4. These pieces all go down to 3/4, and you can see how they all like kind of like flare back out. so that they all stay the same when they get to a certain size. Then once they get over that 3/4 and they start growing. But so, you know, it's not going to be a perfect fit. It just needs to be bigger than the sockets so they can slide in there. So that's how we're going about spacing and drilling these things without making it too much of a pain in the butt. Okay, so finished drilling the rest of those holes with the Forster bit, and you know, just checking a fit here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I think I got them all in there so they all fit. So this is the plywood piece, and again, on your plywood you want to cut, so you can see that, cut these on an angle. These magnets I just, you know, drilled a little channel, cut a little channel in here, epoxied these in. Okay, I just wanted to go over just one tip. You know, when you're going to use these bar magnets, you're going to bury these bar magnets into your piece of plywood. You know, you cut your channel, okay, and then you're going to get your epoxy mixed up and you spread it out. Don't wait to this point to like start putting the magnets together, or don't go putting them in one at a time, okay, because they do have to have the polarities matched up. So before you mix the epoxy, go ahead and figure out how many of these bar magnets you need if you're going to put them in a line, and start putting them together. See, they work together real good there, but let's say, for example, I had it like this, and it's going to try to push apart. Now, if I had put this into the epoxy and then tried to bring this in with the wrong polarity, it's going to pull it out of the epoxy, force it out. So I'm going to start making a mess on your project. So just before you do everything with the epoxy, get your bar magnets, count it out, find out how they fit together, and make your strip. Now mix your epoxy. Put your epoxy either on the magnet. It's easier to put it in the slot, I guess, but you can do it either way. And then pick up your bar and then carefully place it in, if you're going to put it in this way or if you're going to put it in that way. And you're just going to alleviate some potential headaches that I actually ran into. So they should hold these sockets. See, that's one of the things I hate about these metal things, right? This is a pain in the butt to get off, right? You know, it's not impossible, but still, it's more effort than it should be. This is going to hold it without any problem taking it off, but hold it totally securely. So pretty excited about that. Now, I've already done this on this is the 1/4 inch socket driver, and you know, I actually added a couple magnets here and here and drilled a little hole for the drive to go in, so that, you know, that stays on there. And like you can see, I can shake this hard, it's not coming off, but anytime you're gonna take some off, I mean, it's just as simple as grabbing it. So this can, like I said, stick to the side of your toolbox or whatever else you got around. It's metal, that's kind of cool, and it's easy to grab the whole set and just carry them with you. So one of the things you can see I did also, it's, you know, I hate always struggling trying to find and read what it is, what size it is. So I bought a set of these labels off of Amazon, and it was 10 bucks, I think, and you got like 10 of these sheets. There's way more labels than I'll ever use. And so what I did is I just stuck them right to the bare wood, and then I sprayed over it with a spray polyurethane. Gave it a nice couple coats, thick coats, so these things shouldn't peel off. They should be fairly sealed down. I mean, I'm sure I could dig my fingernail and then get them off, but for the most part, I don't expect those to come off at all. So, you know, you can see you got the metric here, and you got the SAE here, and so that's exactly what I'm doing, you know, with the 3/8 inch drive as well. So, you know, may not necessarily want to do it in this form factor. I mean, you may want to do them like side by side, maybe shorter and wider, whatever works for you, you know. But that's the beauty of this stuff. You can kind of make them the way you want them. You know, I actually contemplated just stopping right here, you know, getting the plywood and the magnets glued in, and then using this, because this holds them, and that'll hold that. But I'm like, so what I'm really doing is making a holder for a holder, which kind of seemed dumb, you know, and plus it didn't make getting these things off any easier. In the end, I thought, you know, might as well go the extra mile, get rid of this altogether. Just pop this thing on here, I'm going to glue it down, and pretty much be done with it, except putting the labels on it, spraying it with some poly. Okay, so we got everything glued up. We got the labels positioned, and then I spray painted some poly on the top, so this should be pretty done. I do need to put magnets in the back. You might be wondering, why am I using a screwdriver? Well, I mean, it's not a big deal. It's a 5-minute setup here. It's going to take me about 2 minutes to do this, and then I'll just wipe off the screwdriver with a paper towel. Okay, so just a couple things I want to go over. Why am I going to all this trouble, to make something that doesn't look a whole lot different than what, this 59-cent piece of metal can do for you. And basically it's just, I don't know, makes things a little bit easier to put back, make things a little bit easier to get access to. You imagine you're, working underneath your car, under a lift, sitting on like a stool next to your bike, whatever it is you're working on. And you're constantly switching back and forth between, sockets. Whenever you're using something like this, I mean, this is a two-hand operation. You're not going to, this is difficult to get off with one hand. So you got to put down whatever's in your hand, like the socket or whatever you're holding, and you got to take 2 hands, put this off, and then you got it's a two-hand operation. With this situation, it's 2-finger operation. It's just that easy, and it doesn't matter if it's the big ones or the little ones. It's real easy, but it's just as secure. It's not coming off. Also, imagine you're under your car. You can stick this to the frame underneath your car. So these things are always right there in front of you. You can see easily, what size you need, and it's easy to just pull it off, pop it back in. Stays right on the underside of the car. You can actually, if you're in a metal car, not a Corvette or something, you could actually attach it to the fender carefully. Once you put it there, it's not going to slide around. You can actually put some felt pads on here if you wanted to. So ease of access, ease of seeing exactly what size socket you're trying to reach for. Maybe you're holding a piece and, I need the next size up. Well, you can easily look over here and see which one. Here, no, you got to put everything down, and you got to go in here and read on here which size you need. So that's a big deal. It doesn't look like a big deal, maybe. It's a big deal. You're working by yourself, you're working under a car. This makes getting to, using, and putting away the sockets and changing them out a one-hand operation, and you don't use 2 hands to disengage or whatever. So easy to take off, easy to put back, easy to see, all that good stuff. So these are good for sticking on the side of your toolbox. Maybe sticking them to the underside of like your car. If you're underneath the car, you can stick them to the frame. Also, if you have like metal toolbox, you just put them right in the drawer, and that holds them nice and secure. They don't go nowhere. And you can see how, you can get a bunch of these in here. This is a very small, really old, really super cheap toolbox. But I can get a lot of stuff in here, if I organize them like the right way. And that's the thing. You can make some measurements and, design your holder so that it'll take maximum efficiency. All right, YouTubers. That's it for socket organization and magnets. Now we're on to wrenches organization and magnets. Haven't finalized that plan. I'm going to start working on prototypes. When I get it all worked out, I'll get a video up. So maybe if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, you'll get a notification when I get that video up. And if you like this one, hope you'll like that one coming. All right, guys, listen, get out in the shop, make something great, and I'll catch you next time.